Hi everyone, my name is Anaya Chanthaburi, and I will be talking about dwarfism and presenting this to y'all, and hopefully you learn a lot from it. Okay, let's get started. So, what is dwarfism? Dwarfism is defined as short stature that results from genetics or medical condition. These people are on average 4 feet, but the actual height definition is 4'10" or less. There are more than 300 different conditions that can cause dwarfism. So we divide dwarfism into two main categories that we see here. So we have disproportionate dwarfism and proportionate dwarfism. Well, it's kind of obvious from the names, but disproportionate dwarfism is when some parts of the body are of average size and other parts are shorter than normal. And proportionate dwarfism is when all the parts of the body are equally short than normal. The most common type of disproportionate dwarfism is achondroplasia, and is also the most common type of dwarfism in general. It is generally characterized by a normal-sized torso and short limbs. Examples of proportionate dwarfism include growth hormone deficiency dwarfism, primordial dwarfism, and Seckle syndrome. So, as mentioned in the previous slide, achondroplasia is the most common type of dwarfism. It makes up about 70% of all cases. So achondroplasia happens when there's a gene mutation in which cartilage is converted to bone while in development. So typically this will occur in long bones, hence the short stature in the limbs. So achondroplasia is an autosomal genetic disease where there is an arginine to glycine substitution on the short arm of chromosome 4. And with this, growth factors from this mutation are messing with the signals of growth plates in the long bones. So there are other causes for dwarfism, and these other causes can involve genetic mutations and or medical causes. So genetic mutations can cause growth hormone deficiencies, which is essential for growth development. So without growth hormone, development may be shunted. Most occurrences come from genetic mutations in either the father's sperm or mother's egg. Causes that are non-genetic are typically the medical causes that cause dwarfism. This can also result from growth hormone deficiency, but the reason behind growth hormone deficiency can be caused during prenatal or postnatal development. So that is if a fetus, baby, or child is not receiving the proper nutrients that are needed for growth and development. These are usually treatable. So one specific type of dwarfism is stress dwarfism. So yes, stress can cause temporary dwarfism or even shunt growth during puberty. These cases are extremely rare. So since they are rare, these usually affect children who have gone through severe stressors in their lives. Like, for example, being terrorized by crazy step-parents or being locked in the closet. Generally speaking, these cases are the products of grotesque psychopathology. And by that, stress dwarfism is also referred to as psychosocial or psychogenic dwarfism. And this type of dwarfism can typically be fixed if the children are not too far along in puberty. So meaning if they aren't past the puberty age, then they can typically regain what is needed for development. So the mechanism behind stress dwarfism is pretty simple. It involves low levels of growth hormone in circulation. But why? So the reason behind stress dwarfism is low levels of growth hormone. So normally, growth hormone is secreted by the pituitary gland, which is regulated by the hypothalamus. So we all know the hypothalamus is in our brains, and the hypothalamus controls growth hormone, sort of in a either negative or positive feedback loop. So the way it does this is that the hypothalamus controls growth hormone by releasing either a stimulatory hormone or inhibitory hormone to decrease or increase levels of growth hormone in circulation. So with stress dwarfism, there's too much release of the inhibitory hormone, which is obviously going to cause low levels of growth hormone in circulation. So this can be due to overactivity of the sympathetic nervous system, and that is also known as the stress response. So the overactivity of the sympathetic nervous system is obviously coming from this extreme stressor. So it turns out that if you're at an age that is appropriate, if you remove that stress response, the levels of growth hormone in circulation can go back to normal. So with stress dwarfism, we see that even some environmental factors, although they may be extreme ones, can cause dwarfism, but can be overturned. So with treatment for dwarfism, there isn't really a treatment because dwarfism is not considered a disease. Most people with the condition usually have normal intelligence and can live healthy and active lifestyles. Dwarfism can cause complications though, and these complications can involve the spine and lower limbs. So when these complications arise, they're typically treated with surgery. So in cases of dwarfism, you'll see lots of surgeries that involve the neck, the spine, lower limbs, or any extremities, really. So the good thing is that dwarfism is not a disease. We see that there are just genetic mutations, or even hormone deficiencies or imbalances. Luckily, people with dwarfism can still live normal, healthy lives. So that is a plus. But all in all, the main goal of dwarfism is to make sure that no further complications come about it. And if it does, the main goal will be to focus on those complications and resolving them. Okay, so thank you for listening, everyone. If you have any more specific questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I think my email is listed on there, but it's achanth, achanth at ncsu.edu. Yeah, again, thank you for listening, and here's my bibliography and my sources. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.